Charlie's conflict with the insane bodybuilder Vegan Gains would go down as one of the most tumultuous controversies in YouTube history. A mentally ill vegan who goes as far as making fun of children with cancer.
So blah blah blah. Cancer is an almighty killer and I wish there was a cure for it. I for one will be supporting Team Lewis in the future and hope you guys will too. One day, cancer will be a thing of the past and the memory of Lewis will live on in the cure when it's found.
To wishing death upon Charlie.
Would literally jizz my pants if I heard a vegan ended the existence of Penguin Zero or
all the way to threatening literal babies.
And when I see babies in a stroller, especially when they're crying, I just want to put my foot through the and step on it until it's nothing but blood and pulp on the pavement.
Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be looking into the insane vegan YouTuber known as Vegan Gains, as well as his catastrophic controversy with YouTube titan Penguin Zero, aka Moist Critical or Charlie. If you didn't just have a bout of nostalgia, you may be asking yourself the question of who is Vegan Gains? Vegan Gains, real name Richard Burgers, rose to fame on YouTube by generating controversial and provocative content centered around veganism. Targeting meat eaters and other YouTube bodybuilders, he cultivated a reputation for his aggressive and confrontational style, quickly becoming a divisive figure in the YouTube landscape. By 2015, his notorious antics had garnered disdain from the broader YouTube community, although his following of more radicalized vegans continued to swell amidst the escalating drama. In late 2015, the world would witness some of the first signs of sociopathic symptoms, when Vegan Gains' grandfather would suffer and die from a heart attack right in front of his eyes. For an average person, this would be an extremely traumatizing event, but for Vegan Gains, this was an opportunity to take out his camera.
I just got back from the funeral thing that we had. It wasn't exactly a funeral, but a bunch of family got together and I was dragged to it. But anyway, I was planning on showing you guys footage of my grandfather actually having the heart attack. As soon as the paramedics got to the house, I took out my camera and started filming. But a bunch of people in my family, my mom, my grandmother, uncles, shit like that, they threw a big fucking fit about me showing that footage on YouTube. They're perfectly fucking fine with eating foods that cause fucking heart disease and make people actually die of fucking heart attacks. But when it comes to actually showing people what happens when they eat these foods, that's just too much, so...
Later in the video, Vegan Gains would talk about the situation like it didn't even matter and like it was deserved, showing zero empathy at all.
Now, why this heart attack happened, it's obvious he was eating like absolute fucking shit. Ridiculous amounts of like red meat and pork and ice cream and shit like that, and you know, I knew a few months ago he didn't have long to live. I even told my mom, I think back in like February or March, like he's not gonna make it to the end of the year. And yeah, I called it. He died because his fucking diet was absolute shit.
One of the most notable controversies earlier in his journey was with the YouTuber Furious Pete, which was explained well by the Gamer of Mars, where he discussed Vegan Gains' interaction with Pete.
Furious Pete is one of the biggest YouTubers in the genre of eating challenge videos. Along with this, Pete is also known to be very into fitness, with him often making videos about his workout routines. In August of 2015 though, he had some bad news to reveal to his 3 million subscribers. When people in the comments started to mention that it looked like he was losing weight, Pete decided to make this video. In it he explains that he was fighting a second round of cancer, which was taking a toll on him physically and mentally. Now this is where Vegan Gains enters the picture. Richard is a Canadian-born man in his 20s that is fully committed to the vegan lifestyle and runs a YouTube channel about it. Because of past altercations with Pete, Vegan Gains decided to make a video about the cancer and let his true feelings out loud and clear.
And it seems I was correct because Pete got cancer again. Oh, so sad.
And before you all start calling me a sociopath as some sort of attempt to insult me, how about you consider the fact that Furious Pete makes fun of the suffering and death of the animals he eats on a daily basis. So I don't see why I shouldn't make a joke about his suffering and death. So who would like a haha, you're gonna die of cancer t-shirt?
This would just make up of one of the many times that Vegan Gains would actively push out borderline sociopathic opinions and stances online.
There are some people that I really do love, and I think they're worth something, but the majority of the human race, I just have absolutely no respect for. So don't get on my bad side, make some vegan gains, and be nice to animals, or I'll kill you.
One of the many fitness YouTubers that Vegan Gains would beef with was a creator known as Lex Fitness. Throughout the controversy, Lex Fitness would claim that Vegan Gains was a keyboard warrior and challenged him to confront him in person, which to Lex's surprise, he actually did. By July, Grade A Under A, a popular YouTuber at the time, would create 2 videos calling out and making fun of Vegan Gains, which would gain 1.6 million views and 4.8 million views respectively, ultimately massively boosting the awareness for Vegan Gains. For Vegan Gains, any attention was good attention, and he would make a video thanking Grade A Under A for sharing his content to millions of people.
A lot of you have been begging me to respond to Grade Under A, and some of you have gotten the idea that the reason I've been reluctant to do so is because of fear of embarrassment, but no, I just don't have a problem with someone giving me free advertising that is so effective it reaches over 3 million people. So let me do what I do best, which is feed off the popularity of others.
Say goodbye to your bad habits the delightful way with today's sponsor, Fume, the award-nominated device that's all natural. At the start, I wasn't sure what to think about it, but after trying the maple peppercore for the first time, I was completely sold. Instead of using electronics, Fume is completely natural. Instead of using vapor, Fume uses flavored air. And instead of using harmful chemicals, Fume uses all natural delicious flavors. You get the deal. Experience the ultimate relaxation with Fume's adjustable airflow dial and fidget-friendly design, perfect for easing stress and anxiety as you reshape your habits. Discover Fume's exhilarating new cores, where the zest of orange vanilla meets the tangy delight of raspberry lemon and the refreshing burst of sparkling grapefruit. Stopping is something we all put off because it's hard, but switching to Fume is easy, enjoyable, and even fun. Fume has served over 100,000 customers and has thousands of success stories, and there's no reason that can't be you. Join Fume in accelerating humanity's breakup from destructive habits by picking up the Journey Pack today. Head over to tryfume.com/internetanarchist or scan the QR code and use code internetanarchist to get 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. That's tryfum.com and use code internetanarchist to save an additional 10% off your order today. Now back to the video. Entering 2016, Vegan Gains would catch the attention of popular YouTuber at the time, Leafy Is Here, who would go on to create a video on him, further sharing his content.
What's up guys, welcome back to a brand new video. But me, Vegan Gains, a YouTuber that has 200,000 subscribers, a very proud and active animal rights supporter, one of the few and active vegetarian bodybuilders, and last but definitely not least, a fucking psychopath. This guy is fucking nuts. Like, this motherfucker is fucking insane. Like, this dude is most known on this entire website for, get this, alright? Threatening to fucking kill people that decide not to only eat fucking plants.
And you're going to die just like those animals.
On top of all that, he's also known for threatening people that don't like him to, get this, come and meet him somewhere so they can try to fucking kill him. And I'm not talking about killing him in Call of Duty or something. I'm talking about real life. You get stabbed in the neck, you're done. It's over. It all started a few months ago when he uploaded a brand new video saying he was going to a vegetable club, and that if you didn't like him, you could actually come to that vegetable club and try to straight up battle him.
So it's a good opportunity to try and kill me, so if you think you have the fucking guts, come to the fucking Toronto Veg Fest.
I swear to God, I am so fucking done. This dude is literally threatening people to come and find him at a fucking vegetable club so they can fight him. Like, dude, what is this guy's life? He's like a real life fucking anime character.
Despite receiving a considerable amount of negative attention, Vegan Gains would continue to amass a large cult-like audience of radical vegans and people attracted to the drama he created. But all things must eventually come to an end, and by 2017, his long run of viral growth would come to a halt, as his channel went from amassing 7 million views per month in January of 2016 down to 1.8 million views per month in December of 2018. 1 year later, on the 27th of January 2019, the Vegan Gains channel would be terminated from YouTube, with a tweet reading, "Please help at YT Creators. I run an educational channel that focuses around plant-based nutrition, and I just had my channel terminated. I've tried my best to comply with YT guidelines, but apparently one of my older videos got flagged. I would appreciate help to resolve this issue." Despite the termination being short-lived, with his channel being reinstated a week later on the 7th of February, it would serve as a wake-up call for Vegan Gains, and from here on out, he would do his best to tone down the violent threats and sociopathic behavior on his streams and videos. Throughout 2019, Vegan Gains would attend and speak at conferences, look into research papers on veganism, and overall be less involved in drama. But the new style of content didn't sit well with his audience demographic of both radical vegans and non-vegans who subscribed for drama, and in turn, his channel would constantly lose thousands of subscribers each month. As 2020 rolled around, Vegan Gains was still losing subscribers and gradually fading into irrelevancy. That would be until he spotted a golden opportunity on the 27th of March, when YouTuber Penguin Zero, who we'll be referring to as Charlie, published a video exposing another creator for mistreating animals, in a video titled, "YouTuber Tortures and Eats Animals Alive." Throughout the video, Charlie would call out and challenge the disgusting behavior of a particular mukbang YouTuber known as So Young, who was creating live feeding videos on her channel.
Her name is So Young, and what she does on her channel is she buys sea creatures alive and then kills them in the slowest, most inhumane ways possible because she likes to watch them squirm around and put Facebook royalty-free music behind it as a joke. For example, with a squid in particular, she cuts the hood off and then sets the body down, and the body is still alive, the squid is still technically alive, and it's moving around trying to get the fuck away. She'll pour sauce on it and put some goofy music and make some stupid fucking jokes about it. It's terrible stuff. She treats it like it's a Nick Jr. cartoon, where she's making these like goofy sounds and goofy YouTuber faces like, it's kind of fucking garbage. That's what she does as the creatures are clinging to the last ounce of life they have. And sometimes she doesn't bother to kill the creatures, like for octopus, she'll just eat them alive straight up. Now I know there's a lot of people that argue, are sea creatures even alive? Some of them don't have nervous systems, this and that. And yeah, there's a debate to be had there, I suppose, but the creatures she chooses to eat alive are the ones that are well documented in being very much aware and alive. For example, the octopus. Octopus are among the most intelligent creatures we have on the planet. They're up there with dolphins. They have a fully complex nervous system, brain. They have as many neurons as dogs do, and they process pain and information in much the same way a dog does. They're able to remember that kind of information as well. So how does she treat an octopus? Well, by devouring it alive as it tries its best to run the fuck away.
One of the key points Charlie explored throughout the video was how she would often pick out animals which were known for being incredibly smart, such as octopi, which are known for thinking remarkably similar to humans in terms of problem solving, short-term, long-term memory, and a highly developed nervous system.
Eating an octopus alive is like eating a fucking dog alive. They're on the same level. She's basically just eating a sea hentai dog. It's fucking crazy how this is even allowed, and how she has an audience that supports it and defends her in the comment section. She has fucking simps defending her in the comment section. Have some fucking shame. Even if you set aside morals and ethics, the content itself is fucking atrocious. All she does when she's not torturing and eating animals alive is scream, as you have goofy cartoon music blasting behind her. So unless you're 8 years old who finds jingling keys comedic because they're loud, I don't know how you could possibly be entertained by anything she does. It's fucking terrible trash.
어떻게
Towards the end of the video, Charlie would call her out for how she brutally prepared squid.
Let's see how she handles a squid.
가만히 있어, 가만히 있어, 가만히 있어, 가만히 있어, 가만히 있어. 자, 일단 한 마리 손질.
As you can likely imagine, that's the most inhumane way of killing a squid and preparing it. She didn't dress the squid, she fucking mutilated it while it was alive.
The video proved to be a massive success, accumulating over 9 million views. Not only that, but it also succeeded in raising awareness about the inhumane treatment of animals on the platform, a move that was widely recognized by the YouTube community, with comments stating, "The worst part of this is that octopuses are known to have very similar emotions to humans. The fact that the squid was still alive when she ripped off their head things, absolutely disgusting." As well as, "I think the most sinister part about this is that she acts like this is silly. She laughs and makes funny noises. She's acting like this is comedic. It's sick." Whilst it's safe to say the YouTube community saw the video as a grim reality check, Vegan Gains would see it as his golden ticket to relevancy. On the 17th of April, Vegan Gains would publish a video titled Penguin Zero the Arch Hypocrite, where throughout the video, he would criticize and call out Charlie for allegedly being a hypocrite, referencing a video that Charlie posted earlier that month titled "I tried making sausages and it was a disaster."
But I was really sad to see that only a few weeks after Penguin made this video, he uploaded a video where he supported animal cruelty. He made a sausage making video.
So what is this, Charlie?
Honestly, I don't know anymore. This looks like something I would have dissected in biology class in high school.
You're not gonna show him the front of it and show him what it's supposed to be?
It's supposed to be sausage casing, but I feel like I've been scammed and got intestines.
So it seems that Penguin is unaware of this, but sausage casings, at least natural sausage casings like the ones he's using, are in fact made out of animal intestines. And if you look at the package, hog sausage casings, as the name implies, these sausage casings are made out of pig intestines. So I find it interesting that Penguin will complain about So Young abusing, torturing, and murdering these sentient animals, these very intelligent animals, by the way, like octopi and squid, but he's totally fine with abusing, torturing, and murdering other very intelligent animals, you know, in the meat industry.
Whilst Vegan Gains managed to compose himself considerably well throughout the video, many of his arguments would be irrational and difficult to take seriously, such as when he claimed Charlie was worse than So Young simply because he eats meat.
So who are you to criticize So Young for not killing these animals quickly and humanely when you can't even do that yourself? So you're just a complete hypocrite, and if anything, what you're doing is arguably worse because, again, you're paying someone else to do it. It's happening behind closed doors. You can keep getting away with this, you can keep doing this, and you don't have to suffer any social repercussions, financial repercussions. I'm sure eventually So Young's YouTube channel will end up being terminated for this sort of content, but you can keep doing this and just get away scot-free. So I also want to touch on this issue you brought up of humane killing. There's no such thing as humane killing. There's no way to kill a sentient being nicely because murder is inherently cruel. It is inherently cruel to take away the life of a sentient being that has a will to live. If we were doing this sort of thing to family pets like dogs, if somebody shot a dog in their backyard, killed it instantly in one shot,
The video would be received extremely negatively, with it amassing over 30,000 dislikes compared to only a mere 4,000 likes, with comments stating, "The amount of punchability this man's face has is incredible. If you can't tell the difference of ripping apart a live animal and torturing it for fun, and ordering a fish sandwich, you've got some serious mental issues there, Mr. Gaines. What a bad attitude and outlook you have, my god." as well as, okay buddy, on one side we have a weird lady who eats animals alive, and on the other side we have Critical who eats processed foods. Why don't you actually compare the two like-minded people, like a person who actually supports animal abuse and the octopus lady? The following day, Charlie would publish a video titled Addressing a Controversy, where he would respond to the video Vegan Gains created about him. Charlie, being an animal lover, took the accusations and opinions very seriously, but he would also go into depth on how Vegan Gains and his cult-like following are the reason that vegans get a bad reputation, and why most average people wouldn't even consider turning to veganism themselves.
I want to lead this conversation by saying I have nothing but respect for veganism as a whole, but it's people like Vegan Gains who are overly aggressive and the feral monsters in his comments section that really give vegans a bad rap and a negative reputation in the world. They vilify anyone who's not a vegan. They treat it like a cult where you're a huge piece of shit, evil and wrong if you're not in their club. Now, of course, I'm not talking about everyone who is a vegan. I am talking about this community that Vegan Gains has fostered here and he himself. This is the worst way of ever getting anyone to convert to that belief. By constantly antagonizing them and throwing insults to anyone that is not already a vegan ensures that they will never take it seriously and always have a negative impression of your beliefs. They're like those protesters outside of Comic-Con every year with those Jesus fucking hates people that like cartoon signs. You guys are wrong, you guys suck, and you're going to hell if you don't come to our church. No one's ever going to go to that. No one likes to be lectured at, berated, or insulted. They're not going to go to those people that are throwing those their way.
Following this, Charlie would reveal that he himself actually supports meat alternatives, and that they could in fact be the future. This sentiment would serve to set the tone for the rest of the video, as Charlie respectfully dismantled all of Vegan Gains' arguments.
And I think that sucks because I truly believe meat substitutes are the future. 100%. It's much more sustainable. There's so many benefits to meat substitutes that it is just a significantly better, cheaper, and just all around better market. But it's more about getting people to accept that that could be the future. But you have people like Vegan Gains being the face of it and no one takes it seriously and they get this really bad taste in their mouth.
Later in the video, Charlie addresses the allegations that his actions are comparable to those of So Young, presenting a thoughtful counter-argument.
So this one here, I am just as bad if not worse than So Young because I'm paying someone to do what she does on camera. But that's not it either, like you're totally fucking wrong. I'm not paying someone to torture animals. What people who eat meat are under the impression of, they're paying someone to humanely provide that food for them, given the circumstances, as humane as it can possibly be. If I found out the place I'm getting my meat from has a fucking YouTube channel where they're finger blasting cow carcasses and using chicken corpses as baseball bats, I'll stop buying from it, obviously. No one is paying for these animals to be paraded around on YouTube and tortured, have salt poured on their corpse so they wiggle around and scream. No one's paying for that. So for him to say that I want to go out of my way to slap these meat producers in the face with money because I need that precious meat and don't care how they treat the animals is outright wrong.
Subsequently, he confronts the absurd claim that his meat purchases are inhumane and cruel, articulating a well-reasoned response.
Humane killing? There's no such thing as humane killing. There's no way to kill a sentient being nicely because murder is inherently cruel. It is inherently cruel.
This is a point I see brought up throughout all of veganism, that no matter how an animal is killed, no matter how humane it's deemed, it is inherently evil and wrong. But I have to ask, then does that make every animal in the animal kingdom inherently evil? Because the vast majority of animals out there eat other animals to survive, and they don't do it quickly. So does that make every animal in the animal kingdom that eats other animals inherently evil, or is that trait specific to humans alone? And if so, why? I know people always say that to a vegan when they're trying to epic own them in a Reddit comment, but typically they'll just say that that's deflecting or a dumb question, but I actually would like to know your opinion on it, Vegan Gains. What do you feel when an animal eats another animal? Is that animal now evil, and is that whole species bad? It's just, I don't understand where the line is drawn. Humans do it in a way that is significantly less cruel to the animals than how the animals do it to each other.
Next, Charlie responded to Vegan Gains' ridiculous argument about shooting your own dog.
If somebody shot a dog in their backyard, killed it instantly in one shot, would you say, oh good, you know, he humanely, nicely murdered his dog? No,
Yeah, this comparison you've given here is actual dog shit. This doesn't fit anywhere into this ballpark here. Someone came and shot your pet for no reason. When these animals are being killed, there is a reason behind it. It is so that it can provide food for people out there. I think I get the point you're making, but dog and pig, why dog, not pig? Oh, goodness me, what if dog was killed? You'd be upset about dog, but not pig. You can be upset equally for both. If that pig is a pet and it gets killed like that, you're gonna be upset. It's inhumane. That's not what the fuck we're talking about here. That makes no sense. Even if it wasn't even a living creature. Let's say your son had a pet rock that he bonded with hugely, and someone comes over and throws it in the trash. That shit's inhumane. It's not right. It's evil. This comparison just doesn't fit into this argument anywhere because in your example, someone just comes and shoots a beloved family member.
To conclude the video, Charlie explains that individuals like Vegan Gains may actually be causing more harm than good to the vegan community, presenting a nuanced analysis.
I know I only showed like 4 clips from his video, but that's because these are the only 4 times he made a point. The rest of the video was filled with either him repeating the same thing or showing the atrocities that do unfortunately occur in some places in the meat industry. And I agree, terrible, absolutely terrible what happens in some of those places. And then he talks about the meat alternatives and how great they are. Totally agree. That shit fucking slaps. I talk about it on my streams from time to time when people ask me what my opinion is on vegan food. I fucking love meat alternatives. But the majority of the video is him just repeating the same point. Meat eater can't like animals. If meat eater like animal, meat eater wrong, meat eater dumb, meat eater bad. It's the silliest way of looking at things, the most childish and naive way of approaching things by vilifying these people, by vilifying meat eaters. You're ensuring that they're never going to try vegan food. Because they're going to associate vegan food when they see Beyond Meat vegan, they're going to associate that with someone who's just fucking crying on YouTube. I fucking tuned into your Doom Eternal stream last night and you started whining towards the end of it about how everything you do loses you subscribers. You then had a moment of self-reflection and realization when you said maybe it's because you're an unlikable asshole. Yes, that's exactly why. That is how you're perceived on YouTube. It's how you conduct yourself. You're extremely condescending to anyone that's not in your club. You literally present yourself as a pseudo-intellectual Twitter user on YouTube. You attack everyone in the fitness industry that even so much as walks by a diner that has meat on the menu. You go out of your way to be an asshole to people and then act surprised when people think you're an asshole. It's how you're conducting yourself. This hyper-aggressive way, and it's not just you Vegan Gains, but a lot of people in that community go out of their way to try and lecture people or guilt them into joining, which is the worst possible approach to take and only holds it back. The public perception of meat substitutes could be huge right now if the community as a whole didn't keep vilifying them for it.
The video would be received extremely well from the audience, with one comment putting it well. Moral of the story: vegans give vegans a bad name. Later the same day, Vegan Gains would publish a response to Charlie's video. By now, it was becoming more and more obvious that he was involved with the intent to stir drama, rather than having a real and honest discourse, as he would take the offensive and call out Charlie's audience for being toxic and allegedly harassing him on stream.
I just did a live stream a few hours ago, and because Charlie did this response video around the same time I started my live stream, a lot of his followers came over to my live stream, and what did they do? They called me names, they were spamming the chat with, oh, meat tastes great, you're an idiot. They were talking about how they butcher and kill animals, and throughout the entire stream, there were people encouraging everyone to false flag the stream to get it taken down, and to give my channel a community guideline strike, and there were even people who were insulting me with racial slurs like the N-word. Is my community that toxic, Charlie? Does my community go over to your channel and just spam you with nonsense? Do the people who follow me encourage everyone to false flag your videos, your streams to give you community guideline strikes? Do they insult you with racial slurs? I'm pretty sure they don't. So not only are you just making ridiculous personal attacks and poisoning the well, but this is just completely hypocritical. Your community is just as, if not more toxic than my community. And what the hell does this matter? What does this have to do with the topic of my video of animal ethics? Nothing. You are just going off on a completely irrelevant tangent to just make me and my community look bad so that you seem like the reasonable one, but you are clearly anything but reasonable.
Rather than taking accountability for his own actions, Vegan Gains would frequently resort to deflecting. Instead of blaming his long history of sending death threats, starting fights, and sociopathic behavior, he instead blamed Charlie for being the one to point it out. One of the dumbest takes that Vegan Gains had throughout the video was his comparison of Charlie buying KFC to the literal Holocaust.
It's not illegal, nor is it some type of moral conundrum to like animals, but still eat meat.
So, two really bad arguments here. First argument he made, he said that killing and eating animals isn't illegal. Well, what does that matter? The law doesn't determine morality. At one point, it was legal to keep slaves. In Nazi Germany, it was legal to kill Jews. So, is it okay to keep slaves and kill Jews as long as it's legal? No. So if the law doesn't determine morality, then why are you using that as an argument?
The video would only escalate from here, as next, Vegan Gains would go for Charlie's love of dogs.
As an argument. And the second argument he made wasn't even an argument, he just merely made a statement. He said that it's not contradictory to claim that you're an animal lover but also kill and eat animals. No, that is completely contradictory. If you are going to claim that you love animals or you are a friend to animals, you can't then kill them. You're a dog lover, it seems, Charlie. You have, a lot of Instagram videos and videos where you're playing with your dogs, giving them a lot of love, care, and attention. Would it be hypocritical for you to shoot and kill your dogs? Just shoot them in the back of the head and then chop them up and eat them? Yes, that would be pretty damn hypocritical. You can't claim that you love something, you can't claim that you support animal welfare, but then also support their abuse and murder. That's nonsense.
Following this, Vegan Gains would almost have a good argument when he attempted to use Charlie's argument of animals eating other animals against him in order to defend So Young's content.
And I'm not accusing Charlie of doing this. I don't know what his real intention was here, but normally when I hear this sort of argument made or point that animals kill other animals, people are suggesting that because animals do it, then it's okay for us to do it. Well, if you're actually making that argument that if animals do it, it's okay for us to do it, then you can't criticize So Young. As you pointed out, when animals kill other animals, they do it in horrific fashion. They usually start eating the animal while it's still alive. Well, if it's okay for us to emulate animal behavior, then what So Young is doing is perfectly fine. She's emulating animal behavior. She is eating these animals while they're still alive, just like other animals do. So again, if you're going to use this as an actual argument, it just proves further that you are a complete hypocrite.
The video would finally end with Vegan Gains responding to Charlie's comments about him losing subs and being unlikable due to his own behavior. It's safe to say the video was received extremely poorly, with the video amassing over 23,000 dislikes and comments in support of Charlie, such as, "Bro, get out of here. You kept saying he was making personal attacks when you've been personally attacking him for eating meat and being a hypocrite." The point of his video wasn't to counter-argue you. He was annoyed with the fact that vegans, yourself included, are getting far too aggressive with insulting meat eaters. I personally don't like animal torture, but end up having to eat meat due to substitute pricing and dietary reasons. You're a total toolbag, dude. All you can do is stir up controversy to get clicks. Imagine how great this channel would be if he wasn't such an immature prick. 3 days later, on the 21st of April, Charlie would publish his final video on the situation. Throughout the video, Charlie would respond to a variety of Vegan Gains deflections and arguments, such as how Vegan Gains accused Charlie of fostering a toxic community, as well as how Vegan Gains would misrepresent scientific information in order to fuel his moral superiority complex. By now, it was crystal clear to Charlie that Vegan Gains wasn't involved in the controversy to represent the unspoken voice of animals, but rather for his own personal benefits.
I wanted his perspective. I did open that video up for a dialogue. I thought that's what the goal was, but Vegan Gains has made it clear he doesn't give a fuck about a conversation, he only cares about milking the attention.
This would set the tone for the rest of the video, as Charlie would go on to dismantle not just Vegan Gains' arguments, but himself as a person.
The point I'm making is your entire history on YouTube has been actively shooting the idea of meat substitutes in the foot to people that aren't in the know. You say a lot of it's geared towards education, but if you look at the video you made about me, only a chunk in the middle seems educational where you talk about the alternatives and, well, here's what you could have done. That's educational. The entire second half of the video is you call So Young a piece of shit, look in the mirror, you're a hypocrite, 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 you do this, you're a hypocrite, she does this, she's not a hypocrite, you're a hypocrite, big hypocrite. That's not educational and it doesn't do anything. You're not challenging my beliefs. You're not making me reevaluate the way I look at things. That's just you doing an attack.
The way Vegan Gains presents himself is extremely out of touch, and Charlie would call him out for this too, as he would go on to call Vegan Gains delusional for his comparison of eating chicken for dinner to being equal or worse than literally torching and eating intellectual animals alive.
But since you want to play this game, I'll hop in the swamp with you for a moment and fight you on some things. Your comparison to me eating a chicken tender being the same as So Young torturing animals on YouTube for entertainment, if not worse, that is just outright ridiculous and you're fucking delusional. It's hard to have like an actual cohesive argument to that because it is so outlandish. That's like me saying you support the abuse of women and children by buying tickets to a movie. Hollywood has abused child actors and actresses constantly. So by you having seen even a single movie in your life, you have supported that. It's a moral high ground anyone can take against anyone for anything. You wear a gaming headset during your streams. You realize those parts that compose that gaming headset, a lot of them are made in sweatshops. Very, very immoral means of getting those parts, and you're wearing it freely. So by wearing that, you're supporting that kind of terrible thing in the world. I'm of course not the only one to make this comparison, but you keep dodging it. On Twitter, a user proposed the exact same thing, and your response was, "Oh, you're just retarded. You're not nearly on the same level of intelligence that I am. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm holier than thou. You're wrong. Look at Foxconn." I don't know if you're joking or if you're actually dumb, but Foxconn actually does use minors at their factories in China. They're being investigated for it. It's pretty well documented. And Foxconn's an extremely terrible place to work that's well known for workers committing suicide. So I don't know why you'd use this as an example to somehow dismiss the argument. But even if you did cherry pick like the world's best factory, it doesn't dismiss the comparison. That'd be like me saying, hey, look at this incredible slaughterhouse that treats its animals extremely well. This is representative of all slaughterhouses, right? It just doesn't make any sense. You just come across real dumb here.
Later in the video, Charlie would break down the various hypocritical actions of Vegan Gains, such as how he produced cotton t-shirts for profit, which is known for having adverse effects on wildlife and nature. But none of this would come close to when Charlie brought up a dark moment in Vegan Gains' past, the time when Vegan Gains decided to make fun of a child suffering from cancer.
One thing you've done pretty often is make fun of people with cancer, which I think is very low. Even recently, it's not like you've progressed past an edgy stage. Recently, you made fun of a bodybuilder who took a picture with a child with cancer.
Cancer is an almighty killer, and I wish there was a cure for it. I, for one, will be supporting Team Lewis in the future and hope you guys will too. One day, cancer will be a thing of the past and the memory of Lewis will live on in the cure when it's found.
Well, Eddie, since we're still waiting for that cure for cancer to be found, how about in the meantime we try and prevent ourselves from developing cancer in the first place?
Vegan Gains defends this clip vehemently by saying he's clearly not mocking this child with cancer, but I don't know how he can possibly not see how it seems like he is by the way he's talking. If I talk to you that way, Vegan Gains, you'd think that I'm mocking you, right? Like, my name's Richard and I'm so mad at meat. That sounds like I'm making fun of you, doesn't it? That's exactly what you did to this kid in this very tough situation.
The video seems like a perfect way to end the saga. Charlie not only gave relatively solid counter-arguments, but he also explained to Vegan Gains where he went wrong with his approach, with constructive feedback on how to actually convert more people into being vegan. And the audience recognized this, with comments stating, "I originally thought Charlie was just a funny and sarcastic YouTuber. Then I realized he's actually pretty intelligent and a great person. Did Charlie just destroy a man with his own logic and ideology through sheer intelligence and rational sense?" As well as, "Charlie may not like controversy videos, but he's goddamn good at them." When it seemed like the back and forth had finally come to an end, Vegan Gains would post yet another video. The video was about all you could expect from Vegan Gains by this point. Deflections after deflections after deflections. It would unironically try to argue that Charlie was only making personal attacks at him for his own financial gain. And that's despite the entire drama being started by Vegan Gains himself, by making the accusation that Charlie is worse than a literal animal abuser simply based on the fact he eats meat. The video can be easily summed up by when Vegan Gains resorted to calling Charlie a liar.
So Charlie, it's obvious that you're just lying and trying to slander me, I guess because you're mad that you lost this argument on the internet. It's funny how you will take this clip of me out of context, but you won't actually show what I actually said on this issue. I think my stance on this was very reasonable, even if you disagree. I don't think you can claim after watching that clip that I made fun of a kid with cancer, yet still, even though you alluded to the fact that you are aware of this clip, you saw the video I made, you still deliberately chose to take this clip out of context and slander me. Seriously, you're just a piece of crap. I don't even understand why you're doing this other than you're just mad that I made you look like a fool.
The video once again would be received extremely negatively, with the video garnering over 22,000 dislikes compared to a mere 3,800 likes, with comments stating, "Other morons like you have used this personal attack against me. For someone who hates personal attacks so much, you sure use them a lot. This guy is so fucking sensitive and has done no research on what Charlie is like in any of his videos. Wish I could dislike more than once." As well as, "I know this is a year old, but how are you gonna end the video by saying you prove Charlie's a hypocritical liar without any reasoning other than, well, I don't believe those facts. Whilst it's safe to say that Vegan Gain's idea of baiting Charlie into giving him attention worked quite well, his channel would only continue to decline over the following year, and by 2021, he proved he wasn't finished with his sociopathic behavior, when he would get called out by Greg Duchetti for making fun of another man and his son just mere hours after he passed away.
Coach Greg, and as you know, I'm not a fan of Vegan Gains. He often does videos attacking me or other people, but this time he went after John Meadows only hours after he passed away. I was sent a video from Prophet Fear. Vegan Gains insults John Meadows just hours after his death. So I watched the video and I was shocked by what he said. I was thinking, should I do a video or not do a video? And I think that we need to call him out when he does something wrong. He should realize that there's a line where you just can't cross, and that line was crossed.
Despite Vegan Gain slowly fading into irrelevancy, more recently, he has made appearances on debates hosted by Destiny, where he is known for losing his temper, rage quitting, and his usual lack of empathy for other humans. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing.